Hey, all you Arizona lovers. This is the Finding Arizona podcast, episode number 305. I'm your host, Jose. Thank you so much for listening. Today's episode is going to be a special one. We're sitting down with the owner, one of the managing partners of Birdgang Travel Club, Tyler. It's just really exciting to have someone of his status to come on board. And I have to say, on a side note, there's been a lot of people coming on our episodes that's just really impressive. And really, I hope that you guys stick with us and follow us because there's really great content coming down the line. That being said, you can hear every episode of our podcast at findingarizonapodcast.com. We make it easy for you guys to connect with us social media wise. Finding Arizona Podcast under everything: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Let us know who you want in next. Tyler, you can get all of his information and all of the bio links to Birdgang Travel Club. We attach to every episode, so always go check the bio and the message boards and just everything that we kind of add on to the audio part so that you guys can make sure to connect with these businesses and these entrepreneurs. That being said, it is important for me to say, if you guys go over to our website, sign up for our newsletter, you will get the more official things going on, who's coming in our episodes, who is doing special deals with us, all of that, all the official things. Now, if you want the personal side and you are looking to just understand what's going on behind the scenes, you can go over to our blog that's also attached to our website, and there you will get to see things like family stuff, vlogs. We have very good just content coming at you from all angles, and I hope that you guys stick with us because we're genuinely trying here. My wife and I have just had very little time to do editing on top of actually recording all this stuff, and just it's a back and forth. Everyone knows what that means. It's just, I hope that you guys stick with us because we're having fun over here. Let's see. Now is part of my favorite part of the intro, which is the community corkboard. We are very excited to always post about different events that are going on in our neighborhood and our community. So if you have something that you want to post about, or if you have something you just want to shout out, send us a line, findingarizonapodcast@gmail.com. There we will shout you out like the following events. Wayne Fest 2021, ladies and gentlemen. It is a micro festival that's held in the historic Coronado Park that is over at 1717 North 12th Street. And tickets are on Eventbrite. They're between $5 to $20 depending on what you want to participate in. It is going to be a fun one, and it's taking place today. If you are excited for that, it's going to be taking place today, Saturday, December 4th, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Next up, taking place Saturday, December 11th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Winter Wonderland in downtown Phoenix. You can go over to Cityscape or the Heritage Theater Center, and there you're going to be enjoying a little first ever Winter Wonderland, and it is going to be featuring outdoor performances at Arizona Center, Cityscape Phoenix, Heritage Theater Center, and more. So it's family friendly celebration. You can enjoy the rich downtown area, the history and the culture, and I hope you guys go do so. Again, taking place Saturday, December 11th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So one last event, it is taking place today, actually tonight, December 4th, that is the APS Electrical Light Parade in downtown Phoenix. I have to say, this always is a good one for the family. If you guys really enjoy outdoors and just like parades, this is the one to do, and it's always a good time. I hope that you guys enjoy. That actually ends our little community corkboard, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and we hope that you guys are sending us lines again over at findingarizonapodcast@gmail.com to shout out what events you want to come up next week. That is concluding our little intro for this episode. So again, episode number 305. We hope that you guys enjoy this one. I will catch you on the next one. Peace out, y'all. Hey listeners, Joe Biden's bipartisan infrastructure bill has now become law. We're here to tell you that this is great news for Arizona. Expanded internet access to hundreds of thousands of Arizonans? Check. A new rail line between Phoenix and Tucson? Check. and help secure the supply chain to bring down costs. Check. These are just a few ways our lives will improve. And guess what? Small businesses in particular will benefit from the reliable transportation and lower costs. That's right. Find out more by going to www.realstoriesrealvoices.com. And now, back to the show. Welcome back, everybody, to the Finding Arizona podcast. I'm your host, Jose. As always, we bring in special guests every week, and today is no different. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to us all the way from the Birdgang Travel Club, Tyler. And I want to just say we're in the midst of a winning season, 9-2 for the Cards. Give it up for my boy, Tyler. What's up, Ty?
Hey, no, thanks for having me. Yeah, great timing.
I know. And behind the scenes, we've been trying to do this for a while, but it's great that we're doing it now because, again, we were saying winning season, feeling good for the Bird Gang. And I want to get into it. One of the first things that we ask everyone is how have things been since, COVID has kind of lifted and we're in a different period and things have transitioned into more being able to travel more. And that's a big part of your guys' business. I imagine that it wasn't easy the last year having to, amidst COVID and all of that. Can you take us kind of like what's been happening and what's been changing?
Yeah, I mean, when we first tried to do this a couple of seasons ago, the team wasn't very good, and our kind of busy season is before the season. So we'll get more into that in a bit. But yeah. So it just was wrong timing. And then we then tried, I remember last season, but then COVID had just started. And it was like, well, fans can't be in stadiums. So it's kind of pointless to do this because it kind of shut us down, right? We weren't able to do what we do. So yeah, no, coming out of that and being able to now have fans together and just, as you look at the Arizona sports landscape, the Coyotes are having their struggles, D-backs have had their struggles, but you look at the Suns coming off the NBA finals and now, the hottest team in the NBA right behind the Golden State Warriors right now.
Yep.
And then now the Cardinals starting off hot, 9-2, best record in the NFL. It's great. This is if I had wrote out a script of how I'd want it to go, obviously there's a certain way I want it to end, but
yes.
I couldn't have wrote it any better. I mean, being able to, you think about us as Arizona, residents and fans of these teams, and not that everyone hasn't experienced trials and tribulations over the last year nationwide. But, for us locally, it's like, last year was depressing. I mean, anyone you talk to, it was a rough year. You may have had job stuff. You may have had family stuff. You may have had just craziness all around the pandemic. And now
the one pillar, the one thing of like, you just want it to be normal. Sports. You just want
sports is always our getaway, right? It's our entertainment. And to have our teams performing right now at this level, you couldn't ask for anything better. And
absolutely.
So, no matter how this ends, and I hate it, the Arizona teams, it's like we're always a bridesmaid, never the bride. I'm hoping this season between the Suns and the Cardinals, I'm hoping one of them can seal the deal here.
So there's so much to unpack. I mean, again, I think you're right. There's a level of like, we needed this. This is for our local community. And a lot of it is just really great. It gives an amplitude of like, the energy from the experience and the energy from wins and things like that actually vibrate through the city when it happens. And one of the things that I want to discuss with you is kind of like your origin story and how this, for you, I know a little bit of it, just kind of doing my own research. You and your buddies got together and wanted to start going to away games and all that, but kind of unfold. Where was that pivotal point for you to make this kind of tipping point of like, this is a thing, let's make sure that we go and do this the right way?
Yeah, it was, it's interesting. It's the last time the Cardinals were good,
okay.
In around the 2014, 2015 seasons.
Yeah.
I want to say 2014, I think we started off 9-1, if I remember. Then I think Carson Palmer got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was kind of downhill from there. Then 2015, we had that magical run with the NFC Championship. Again, Carson Palmer gets hurt, kind of derails things.
Yeah.
So in those 2 seasons, I was already, in seasons leading up, me and my buddies, we were traveling every year. We'd find out, it was just a fun thing, vacation thing to do, like find a city to go to.
Yeah.
I had never been, my first time I went on a travel trip, it was to New York. And I'd always wanted to go to New York growing up. And
nice.
I never went. And, I find it funny when people think of like random places they want to go.
Yeah.
You always want to have a reason, right? Like there's got to be something other than just the sightseeing. Like you even the sightseeing, you want to map it out. You want to say, oh, I want to check this off or check this off. And when people come to Arizona, same thing.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to go to Sedona. I want to go, there are different things that you want to do. And for New York, it was lights, big events and things of that nature. And so when my friends and I decided, let's go to New York, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I've always wanted to go to New York.
Yeah.
And this is a good end piece to the weekend of why to go. We'll go for 4 days. We'll go do Times Square. We'll do all these things, but we'll cap it off with a Cardinal game, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So we would do this every year for 3 seasons or so.
Yeah.
And I'd meet these groups along the way for other teams where they would say, hey, we travel as a huge group to these cities. We do this, we do that. And I met a couple guys from different teams and they were like, hey, you should start something like this for the Cardinal fans because I don't think they have that. And my background was in radio and also kind of event planning. And I just was like, yeah, that would be cool. But I didn't really grasp the need until, when I would go on these trips, I was in all the Cardinal like Facebook groups or in the chat forums, all the different things, these message boards.
Yeah.
And people would say, hey, who's going to Chicago this weekend? Who's going to New York? Who's going to where? And hey, let's meet at this bar. Yeah. And then you check the thread or the Facebook post and someone would be like, oh, I was there at 3:00. And then the other person goes, oh, I didn't go till 9 p.m. I didn't go till this time. And so it was all these misconnections. Yeah. And I just thought, from watching Shark Tank and things like that, it's maybe there could be a better way. And what if we structured it? And, on the road, you would see fans and you would see them all around the city and at the game, especially, right? You'd see them in their jerseys or whatever. And I'll tell you, like going to certain cities, some cities aren't the best. Some are great. They're nice, very hospitable. But going to some, it's kind of scary. And so doing that it made me think of a couple of things. One, it would be so much better if we could all go together. And then second part, like safety. Yeah. Like if you could get all these fans together, there's kind of strength in numbers, right? And, of course. And, it's one of those things where if you're all together, it will make for a more enjoyable experience. So meanwhile, while I was doing this, a buddy of mine, Eric, actually, we didn't know each other at the time, but Eric was doing his own like Arizona Cardinal fan podcast, like for the fans. It was on nice. It was like a YouTube show. Yeah. And he had a pretty good following with a lot of like the known Cardinal like super fans and things like that. And I was like, I should get him involved. And so, and he was traveling too. So he was going to a bunch of road games. Nice. So our love for the traveling for the Cardinals kind of united us. And then we launched this and then it goes.
That's awesome. Is your buddy still doing the podcast? I mean, if you want to shout it out, go right ahead.
No, he stopped the YouTube.
Okay.
He realized that we could put our efforts in better places, but
it's fine. It's fine. No, I love like it to me, it's always a thing of like, I can tell people who've done this before because the just the momentum and just who's talking and so it just feels like, it's a very appropriate thing to just kind of feel what you guys have built here too. It's just really something special. I feel like too is just one of those things that like, you're absolutely right. People feel better in larger numbers, but it's also, again, the mentality of like, I'm with people who want to see the same thing or want to experience the same thing as me, as far as going out in this travel gang and just like be there for the game and enjoy it. And then enjoy the company of those who want to
root for the same team as you.
So what's interesting about that is, when we launched this, it was into this 2016 season, and it was coming off the heels of the Cardinals going to the NFC Championship. In the offseason, everyone had predicted them to go to the Super Bowl the next year. Like, oh, they're going to be the favorites. They're going to be the favorites. We had done some acquisitions, and the team looked like they were going to be poised to go back.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. The team started out really bad, and it just was a mess. But the way we sell our packages is, when the schedule comes out, usually the week before the draft, so that's April.
Yeah.
That's when people sign up, because it's like planning a vacation. So
yeah, absolutely.
And so right out the gate, our opening weekend, there was two things that told me this was going to work. One was the day after the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
I was like, we should go for it. We had just thrown a party at a bar. It was called Fitzgerald's appropriately, and at the time, Larry, of course, on the team.
Yes.
We had 500 fans show up, and this is the night before the NFC Championship. And the owner of the team came, Michael Bidwell. He's always been super supportive. He got up there, thanked the fans for coming to town. And so that was kind of proof of concept. I was like, okay, this is going to work. Well, then the next day, I had did a Facebook post. It is, to this day, my most liked Facebook post I've ever had.
Nice.
I did, hey, if we organized a group to do trips to games, would people do this? And it got like 1,000 likes, like through like 200 shares, like all this crazy engagement. And I was like, okay, we're on to something. So in this bar in Carolina, as I'm waiting to catch my flight, I registered the domain. I registered the Facebook, the Twitter, and I like telling this story because if you're ever thinking of like starting your own business, like these are the things that you got to start with.
Yeah,
you got to register the business, you got to get the domain, you got to get all the same social channels. Like you don't want to, you want to have that ownership of it all.
Yep.
So we did all of that, and then we knew Miami was on the schedule the next year.
Okay.
And so when that came out on the schedule release, it was, okay, Miami in December. Who does not want to get away from the cold and go to a nice weather city?
Yeah.
And so that opening weekend, this was the second defining moment of, okay, we're on to something. But we released the schedule, and within that weekend, we had like 200 people sign up.
Nice.
And our packages, they're affordable, but they're not cheap. I mean, it's not $50 for a game ticket, right? It's you're paying for a weekend that includes your hotel for 3 or 4 nights, a Friday night party, a Saturday night party, a Sunday tailgate, which is all you can eat, all you can drink, and then lower level game tickets. We've never done upper level game tickets. It's always been like first class accommodations. So, that package altogether, roughly, depending on the city, it can be anywhere from $1,200 a person to like $1,500 a person. So there's a little bit of cost. Now we do payment plans, we do all of that. So to see this many people sign up in a weekend, we had 200 people in a weekend sign up. It told me, wow, this is going to go somewhere.
This is definitely, absolutely. Dang, man, that's really cool to like kind of see that proof of concept come full circle for you, just in that one, that momentary, like, just like it had to be just an exciting, like just an energy surge.
It was a rush. It was a rush for sure. And, and since then, what's cool has been kind of the evolution, and this might be jumping ahead, but just kind of speaking to the first year when it was in Miami, and think about this. This was like 2016.
Yeah.
Airbnb really wasn't a thing in 2016, right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about our core audience in 2016 going to Miami, you had a bunch of group of like guys, right? You had like groups of 6 wanting to go. They're trying to crash in one hotel room together. It's a mess, right?
Yeah.
You had groups of girls. Like I remember there was girl groups of 4 girls, and they're all crashing in a room, sharing a couple beds, and getting a rollaway, all that. Now, what's cool is 5-6 seasons later, you're talking about most of our bookings now. What I see is it is females, which we think football, right? Like, not to discriminate, but that's not. You're thinking it's usually dudes. Like that's the stereotype. It's guys drinking beer, eating wings, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Girls love football too, and
it's great. It's great to hear this. Like the ratio is becoming like, that's so amazing.
So what you're seeing now is not only girls booking, it's a good percentage of girls that are booking the trip themselves, but you're noticing it's also for the significant other. You're starting to see some gift giving where it's like, it is the spouse or the girlfriend buying the trip for the husband.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or the boyfriend or the whatever.
Yeah.
And it's become a couples thing where it's not
Nice.
necessarily like groups of friends anymore. Now, I have seen what's cool is the relationships have been built on the road.
Mhm.
You see fans that have gone with us on one trip that have met other fans that now every year
Now that's the group is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's kind of
cool.
the core. So you're still seeing friends go, but it's kind of different. It's more like couples going together and things like that, which is
awesome.
honestly a cool evolution because it's just football brings people together, and that's been pretty cool. So to see how things have kind of changed in that regard has been neat. And I will say we do have some single females that go by themselves. Like
sure, yeah, why not?
I've seen that, which is phenomenal. It's like wow to see people. I know I'm crazy. I'll go to a movie by myself occasionally. But I don't know if I would go on a trip just outright by myself. So to see some guys do that, some girls do that, that's pretty cool too.
That is awesome. I love that. I love how the evolution is making you really think about what your business type is too, especially like that's kind of not affected, but it is in the back of your head, of course. And that's what you as business owner want. Now, I would like to get into a little bit, you brought it up, the schedule. 9-2, last win was against Seahawks. Now you're coming, your next game will be next Sunday against the Bears, who are coming off their holiday win. That'll be in Chicago. And then following after that will be in Detroit, then in Cowboys.
Yep. That's kind of the remaining road schedule. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so I wanted to unfold that because this, as someone who's going to be listening, this will come out a little bit later. But I just also want to kind of get into understanding like when this is the season, when you have 3 games left and what you guys are finishing off at going into the playoffs, what this looks like for you guys, what the plan is or what you guys want to share too for next year as well.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy busy time because of the success of the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the more the team does well, the more people want to support them. I mean, it just kind of goes with the territory. I mean, think of where you're going to invest your dollars. If the team's the Detroit Lions right now, where they don't have a win, odds are you're not spending a lot of money on that team right now because the morale's not high. So, it just is what it is. But looking at what it is now, I mean, so every year we go into the season planning 2 to 3 trips, and it just depends how the schedule falls. We would never do a trip on Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Like when families get together, they're not going to want to travel like in that regard. So, we got to see where the games kind of fall. Okay. So what we did was week 1 this year was the big, and there's always one huge trip, and this is the big trip that everybody wants to go on, right? Yeah. It's the big destination city. So this year it was Nashville, and it was week 1, which was interesting because most of our trips have always been late October, November, December. So to kick off the season with your biggest trip of the year, for me, it's a little stressful because it's like, okay, and coming off of a COVID year where we did nothing. I mean, we did no trips, nothing.
You got to make a pop.
There was no tune-up, right? No, like, hey,
no warm-up game.
There was no small trip to kind of like get our wings under us again.
Yep.
Remember what, it's like getting on a bicycle again, right? We had to figure out what we were doing, and it had been almost 2 years since we'd been on a road trip and taken fans and had to have the deliverables. So, right out the gate, we're taking 300, 400 fans to Nashville, and it's like, man, we're right in the fire once again. So, that was awesome. The team won, which was even better. Nice. So as the season's now progressed, I personally have gone to a few more road games. I went to LA to see them play the Rams when the teams were both 3-0. I went to Seattle just recently last week. I went to San Fran a couple weeks before that. Yeah. I know, we've had other fans go to Jacksonville. So, what's cool is the team's undefeated on the road. So it's like, if you've been on a road trip this year, it's been pretty enjoyable, right? Yeah. So now unpacking going forward, our second trip formally of the group of the year is Chicago. Mm-hmm. And that's next weekend coming out of the bye. Going to be a little cold. We're prepared for that. We're going to take about 50 fans. So it is a smaller trip. This is the trip I wish we would have taken the first week of the season.
Yes, this is the one where you're just like, this is
a little intimate, fun trip. But yeah, we're taking 50 fans. What's cool is what we also do is for fans that, I've had some people like, we're flight attendants and, we get, we don't include flights in our package. So that's part of it. But They're like, we get air miles already. That's fine. Use your air miles. Like, you got to pick your flights anyway.
Yeah.
But then they're like, well, but because we travel so much, we've got so much credit card points for hotel or this or that. Now, the whole point and the secret sauce of our group is people being together, right? Yeah. Like, we're not doing anything proprietary, right? Like, if someone wanted to come in and start Cardinals fan travel, they could. Theoretically, but the secret sauce is the community that we've built, right?
Absolutely.
That's the part that you'd have to try to replicate. And, you know, so at the end of the day, we want fans to book the full package and be a part of it, but we also understand, like, there's people where when we're going to Dallas here in for New Year's, we're taking over 100 fans there.
Wow.
But we also always open up a la carte because we understand that, like, when we go to Dallas, there are going to be fans that have, like, especially in the Southwest, you're going to have fans that have family in those other states.
Yeah.
So they may want to make that weekend trip a little bit about the family that they want to go visit. Things like that. So they may not want to come to all the events we're doing. So bless you.
Thank you.
They may not want to come to all the events that we're throwing. And so because they're visiting family, whatever. So we do open up a la carte with whatever availability we have left.
Awesome.
So, like, just for context, in Nashville, we had, 200, 300 fans book, but then we ended up having double book a la carte.
Nice.
So either they bought just the tailgate or they came just to the Saturday party or just whatever. And so our tailgate had 550 fans at it. Wow. Just insane. Like, it's just a sea of red in a parking lot. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, exactly. That's so great. Like, I love the one thing that I love that I heard you say is just like that community mentality is one important thing that we like to broadcast here is just, again, I started this with no intention of like anyone listening or just wanted to help the bigger community, which is these business owners, these local guys who don't get that much voice. And so for me, it was like, I'm dependent on whoever wants to listen to this. I honestly am dependent on the community and where they want to take me. I just really want to say it's like that. I hope that that's something important to you and you keep in sight of, because that is the secret sauce. And I hope that it's really nice to hear that coming from another business owner too. It's just really great to know that you guys are something special. And I hope that it continues forward. Now I want to kind of ask you something a little bit personal. Yeah. Colt McCoy is now stating that he's just doing his job. Just a humble bloke. How are you feeling after these 2 wins with him under QB?
Well, listen, there's a saying that the backup quarterback is always the favorite player on the team, because when your starting quarterback doesn't play well, that's the guy everybody wants to see. Okay, I will say, you've seen Colt McCoy play 3 games. Obviously, we won in San Fran and we won in Seattle. Yeah. But if you look at those games and how we won, it wasn't like Colt McCoy necessarily put us on his back and he won that game by himself. Yeah. There was very strong defensive play. There was good running back play. Yeah. There's a reason why Colt McCoy is a backup quarterback. It just is what it is. Now, I want him to be our backup quarterback because I think his leadership is fantastic. I think he's a great leader for Kyler. And the fact that Kyler Murray looked up to him growing up, I mean, that's huge. Like, when you got a young guy as your starting quarterback still trying to grow up in the league and become that leader, to have that example is so huge. And you looked for that years ago with like a Kurt Warner and a Matt Leinart, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, and whatever, and it is what it is. But I like Colt. If he's got to step in, I think we have a shot, which is always good. That's all you want. But I mean, what you've seen Kyler do this year and last year, when he's healthy, I mean, there's the key. Last year he got hurt and he wasn't very good down the stretch because he was hurt. Yeah. This year, when he got hurt, they shut him down, and that was smart. I mean, you got to shut him down, get him his rest, get him back to healthy. We've been winning, and we've had our teams that we need to have lost. Yeah. So you're in a good position now where even if Kyler's hurt this week, going into Chicago this upcoming week, shut him down another week if you got to. Like, we're in a position where this is a long season. They added one more week, and so Kyler just needs to be able to get back at full health. Full 100%. And with 5 games left, 4 games left, whatever, he needs to get in a rhythm before the playoffs come. Because at this point,
Yeah.
You need 1 or 2 more wins and you've locked up playoff position. So, I like Cole. He's great at his role, and it seems like he understands his role. And as long as that's the case, what I'd encourage to our fans is if Kyler were to come back and struggle, don't clamor for the backup. Kyler was in the MVP running for a reason, and he is the future of the NFL.
I mean, with what's it, 2,000, almost 2,300 passing yards. I mean, what's not to like about Kyle?
Oh, his passing rating's insane too. He's like number 1 in the NFL and passer rating. I mean, and come on.
It's just, it's one of those things. Like, I just like ask you this because I know you're a fan and I want to get your take on this stuff. It's just like, so cards on the table.
It's a great question, because when Carson Palmer was here, the biggest thing I ever heard was, well, we should start Drew Stanton. Listen, Drew Stanton, when he had to fill in, he filled in similar to Colt. He filled in a couple times, was able to get some wins. It was great. I mean, that was a special
pat on the back for you, buddy.
Yeah, but the reality was our shot at winning a Super Bowl was with Carson Palmer, and our shot at winning a Super Bowl is with Kyler Murray.
Absolutely,
it's not with the backup quarterback.
So it's just one of those things. Like, again, cards on the table for me, my family, and my wife is her family's from Chicago, so they're Bears fan. I actually was living in Philadelphia when I was younger, so my family, my brother and I are Eagles fans. So we're not doing so great this season. We're looking at the Cardinals. We love rooting for the Cardinals because we're living here, and we're like we love red, and we love seeing you guys win. We're very supportive. I just, again, our household's going to be rooting for the Bears next week. I just want you to know that cards on the table.
Hey,
don't hate me, please. Don't.
No, not at all. Hey, my hot take for the season, and I've been pushing this for the past few weeks on my social media.
Sure.
Mainly because the national media and Cowboy fans they're the best team every year, no matter what. And the national media, when the Cowboys we were the better team and winning more games, but somehow they were like the belle of the ball, and they're our Super Bowl pick, and blah, 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 blah. As you saw last night for Thanksgiving, and also last week against the Chiefs, anytime they play anyone that has a pretty good offense, Minnesota excluded, and the Chargers, they did beat Minnesota on the Chargers, but the Cowboys aren't very good. And my hot take is, and I've said this for a couple of weeks, Phillies look good the last 2 weeks, and I could see the Eagles before the end of the season catching the Cowboys and winning the division.
From your voice to God's ears, my friend.
Yeah, no, Hurts looks good, and that might be me being a Cowboy hater, but I just look at the team and I don't think the Cowboys are that great. I think Dak's still hurt, and I think your Eagles, they're starting to put it together as a team, and they're looking good.
I just, my fingers are crossed. I'm just a humble servant of the universe that is the football season, and I'm just like, hey, I'm still here. We're by the skin of our teeth. We're still here and we're still hanging on. I am just rooting. And again, I just want to say thank you for coming in. I know I want to say this is the day after Thanksgiving. We're doing this on Black Friday. You probably have family stuff that you're probably wanting to do. But again, I appreciate whenever a business owner comes on, because they don't need to, they just want to. And so also a fan like your caliber who's wanting to share their takes with me, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. It's so great to have you here with us. And so usually I like to kick it towards looking towards the future, towards the end of our podcast, and what you have for your hopes, and what we can actually put out into the world, or someone listening who might want to help you. What are your hopes for this business down the road?
Yeah, no, my hope is I look at some of our counterparts in other cities that do this for their teams. So the Carolina Panthers, they have a great group called the Roaring Riot.
Nice.
The Philadelphia Eagles have a group called the Green Legion. And I look at these groups. The Green Legion, for example, they've been doing this since like 2000. So they're like 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
The Green Legion, when they take their trip, so for perspective, our biggest trip that we've ever taken, like a full package, people that buy the entire package, I want to say it was around 300, right?
Okay.
The Eagles, their full package on some trips gets up to 1,500 to 2,200 people. That's just insane. When you talk about the Carolina Panthers group, now they're about double in age. You know, we started in 16. I think they started in 2012.
Okay.
So, you know, or 2011.
Yeah.
Now in that run, they were in the playoffs almost every year. So they had a lot of success. In our run, we haven't been to the playoffs one time since we started. So, you know, hopefully that this changes that. And with winning, you see the fandom grow and you see people getting involved. So my hope for the future is when I look at the Carolina group, they've been here for four more years than we have.
Mm-hmm.
They when they do their trips, their biggest trip of the year, it's about 800 fans.
Okay.
So it's about, so you do the time, it's about double the size.
Yeah.
So my hope is just growth and continued growth, grow the fandom. And I want us to be a place. And I said this day one when I started this, there have been cliques throughout the fandom of the team where there's fans that like their group and this group and this group.
Yeah.
My whole goal has always been, I want Birdgang Travel to be the one stop for everyone to unite as Cardinal fans.
Yeah.
And again, like we talked about at the beginning, this was all designed just to provide a better, safer experience for fans.
Yeah.
And that's what I want going forward. I want fans to grow together, support the team, support the state.
Love it.
And continuously just continue to get better and be bigger and strengths and numbers, baby.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, look, Tyler, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, this has been great to talk to you and just kind of get what this is and understand Birdgang a little bit more. And so again, I just want to say, even though I'm an Eagles fan, I definitely root for the Cardinals when I see them, when I'm a big fan of the team. You are someone inspiring because you have a passion, you took it and you saw something that wasn't there or that needed to be better. And you took your passion and you chose to dive deeper. And that's something that I'm trying to understand more with the business owners, and I understand myself as a business owner. I think that this is something very special, and kudos to you. If someone hasn't said it to you, I applaud you. I look forward. I actually, I am going to talk to you because I want to do, this is something that I've, wanted to do for a while is go to an away game. So maybe I can jump in with you and your crew and just kind of have fun with it. The other thing too is, again, use me as a community tie too. If you ever want to come back on and just, help people understand where your guys are at, please come back to us. Let us know what your opinions are of the season. Maybe we could get you to do like a full football season review or just preview for the next season. We'll have you come back. So again, I want to continue to have a conversation with you, Tyler, and Birdgang Travel Group. I just really do want to continue this because it's a great thing. And I think it's something that everyone should be involved with and everyone should enjoy. Also, it's something that's just, again, 100% special to this community.
No, for sure. And I want to kudos to you. I mean, I've followed, like I said, I followed this show, the podcast for a few years now.
Thank you.
It's awesome. I mean, it started with one of my mutual friends, Mike Spankenberg with State 48, watching him do the show with you guys. And after I saw his episode, I was like, oh, we got to get on there. I mean, we got to do this.
Mike's the best.
So I think it's really well done. And the one thing I'll say, to kind of wrap this is what has made this so fun and being a part of Birdgang Travel and doing this. And it's the cliche, like chase your dreams, chase, like, as a business owner, right? Like I never thought I'd own a business. Like this was never my plan, but it was finding something that I enjoy. Like this isn't a job for me. Like
exactly.
All the logistics and all the planning and all the stuff, it's fun. Like the whole thing's fun. Like, it's so funny when fans come up to me and are like, kudos for you guys, because this is so much work. And I'm like, I love the respect you're showing me and the love you're showing me, but the reality is this is stealing. You know what I mean? Like the sense of I'm making a little bit of money to do something that I love, right? Mm-hmm. And that is my thought process for anyone that wants to be a business owner.
Absolutely.
Find something you enjoy. Find how to make it a job, but still enjoy it, because that's the key. Like I've had friends go do things that they love for a job.
Yeah.
And then it made it it was no fun for them anymore.
Yep.
They didn't like it, and they didn't want to do that passion anymore.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You got to find a way to do this where it makes what you love better. And that's, to me, what Birdgang Travel's become. And it's built relationships with other fans that I never would have had. And it's just been so great. The community is really what it is. And we couldn't do it without them. And we really appreciate it. And we look forward to growing. And I look forward to coming back and telling you about when we take a trip with 1,000 Cardinal fans.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Thank you, Tyler, for everything. This is the part where you get to tell everyone all the social medias, everything where they can find you. Please let us know all of that because I need to hear it. I want to hear where we can find you and where I can follow all of Birdgang Travel Club.
Yeah, of course. Facebook, Birdgang Travel Club or /Birdgang Travel. Instagram @Birdgang Travel. Twitter @Birdgang Travel. YouTube. So if you, the best thing is if you want to see what we do, we have recap videos. You can go see some of these trips. You can see the news stories that have been covered on us. You can see all the cool stuff. This show, I'm going to copy this and throw it on ours. So that way you can see what we do. If you've never been, it's YouTube Birdgang Travel Club. So search Birdgang Travel. We pop up everywhere. It's, and we'd love to have you.
Absolutely, man. I'm just 100% ecstatic that you guys are existing right now in this world. And again, if I could do anything for you guys, it's just to be a voice for you. And so I'm going to jump in and do my little bit. You can hear every episode of our podcast at findingarizonapodcast.com. Make it easy for you guys to connect with us. All of our social media is just Finding Arizona Podcast. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Finding Arizona Podcast. Again, look us up. Let us know who you guys want in next. Again, Birdgang Travel was just one of many that we're trying to reach and trying to get on the show. So for those of you who want to, a direct line, findingarizonapodcast@gmail.com. Let us know who you want in next. Again, Tyler, thank you so much. Anything you want to say to, let's not do Chicago because my in-laws are gonna. Anything you want to say to the Rams, to the Lions, to the Colts, to the Cowboys coming up, to the Seahawks coming up in January?
None of those teams directly, but I will say this: there is nobody this year, when I look at them top to bottom, that scares me.
There you go.
I think this is, let's stay healthy and let's get it.
Let's get it. All right, Tyler, you have a good afternoon. Again, we will catch you again. We're going to have you come back for sure. Thank you to everyone listening. Kisses, hugs, and belly rubs. We will see you on the next episode.